Carroll bringing it forward. Thompson's making the run. Carroll hangs on to it though. Still Davy Carroll. Could go all the way here. Oh, what a goal!
I don't know what it is that makes me love you so. I only know I never wanna let you go. 'Cause you started something, don't you see? That ever since we met you had a hold on me. It happens to be true. I only wanna be with you.
Yes, it's that time of the week again. Good evening. It's Ringing the Blues, live from Wycombe Sound here in the heart of High Wycombe. Coming up on tonight's show, we've got all the action and reaction from Bradford City. We've got Dr. Bob joining us on Till Death Us Do Part.
But first, let's get some FA Cup results from Mexico City with Jurgen.
We are ringing the blues from Mexico City. It's me, Uri, and here are the results for the FA Cup Round 1. A lot of new names to mispronounce, yes. Slowdown 1, Grimsby Town 1, Charlton Athletic 1, Grey Valley Paper Mills 1, Bradford City 1, Wycombe Wanderers 2, Bristol Rovers 7, Whitby Town 2, Chesham United 0, Maidstone United 2, Swindon 4, Aldershot 7, Lincoln City 1, Morecambe 2, Reading 3, MK Dons 2, Barnsley 3, Horsham 3, Sheffield United 1, Walsall 4. So, the first FA Cup took place in 1871 and 1872 and was the blueprint for structuring the game in a more formal fashion. So, Chairboys Spanish this week, oldest national football competition in the world. So, how do we say old in Spanish? Viejo, but because competition is a feminine noun, we will turn the article la. We will use the article la instead of the article el, which is masculine. So, old, viejo. Feminine, old, vieja. Oldest, la más vieja. National, nacional. Fútbol, fútbol. Competition, competencia. In the world, en el mundo. So, oldest national football competition in the world in Chairboy Spanish is la más vieja competencia del fútbol nacional en el mundo. So, hope you enjoyed this, and back to Ingerland with my amigo Filiberto Cachapollos. Until next week, adios.
Cheers, Uri. Wonderful as ever. Right, FA Cup action at the weekend. Wycombe Wanderers headed up the M1 to Bradford. It's always great to go to Bradford in November, and here's what happens.
Tapazzoli finds the head of David Wheeler. Jobson Phillips scores! Killian Phillips has opened his account. It's been coming for the youngster in the last few games, and he does the big knee slide on the wet pitch and gets the hugs and the plaudits of his teammates. It was a looping cross. David Wheeler did really well to get his head on the end of it, nodded it back into the box and found the first time right-footed finish of Killian Phillips. Bradford City 0, Wycombe Wanderers 1. Corner from Kieran Sadlier. In it comes now, headed clear, only as far as Potts and into the area. Potts, uncharacteristic from him, his first touch let it down, but he wins the ball back. Potts then crosses to the back post. Keeper's coming, it's gone in the back of the net. I think it's an own goal. Is Joe Lowe there? Joe Lowe was there to put the pressure on. The keeper's come to get it, hasn't got there, and someone has put it into the top corner. We don't have the replays, we haven't got the access to the footage today, so we won't know until middle of next week who's put it in the back of the net. Wycombe have scored though. Freddie Potts' cross. Lowe was on the scene. One of the two defenders in front of the keeper may well have got the final touch. It's Bradford 0, Wycombe 2. Cross comes in from Bradford now. Striett comes to claim, gets 2 fits on it, punches clear. Smith again, and it's there! He has got his goal. His right-footed volley ricochets off a Wycombe player and lands in the bottom of the net. And it's Bradford 1, Wycombe 2. It's game on here in the FA Cup. And the full-time whistle goes, and Killian Phillips clenches his fist and goes to the Wycombe fans, pumped up. Wycombe Wanderers are in the hat. They've won their first FA Cup first-round game since 2007. It was backs to the wall at the end, but the first half 2 goals for the Chairboys have been good enough. Bradford came again and again in the second half. They got themselves back into it through Jamie Walker. But with the fireworks going across Bradford now, it'll be Wycombe Wanderers in the hat tomorrow. Final score here at Valley Parade. Bradford City 1, Wycombe Wanderers 2.
Gaffer, a winter's day and in the hat tomorrow. You must be delighted.
Yeah, really pleased to be through. You know, it'd be nice to have a run, so to get through to the second round, we've got to be really pleased with. A really uncomfortable afternoon, if I'm honest. I thought Bradford were fantastic in the work they did, the way they passed the ball, created some good opportunities, and I got to be really pleased the way we defended our box, especially at the end. I thought the Taff, Joe Lowe, and then Keezy when he came on, and Lukey in front, KP. I thought the way they defended their box was fantastic. The amount of blocks we got in, loads to improve on in terms of our in possession stuff. But you know, I think the majority of those boys have done 5 games in the last 2 weeks, and I think it possibly showed in terms of the last half an hour. It looked a little bit leggy, so fair play to them for digging in and making sure we got the result.
Psychologically, how important was it to get through that injury time without conceding? Of course, we've had a couple of late goals recently, but real spirit out there. Yeah,
really big. I think it's really important. Obviously, you know, part of the reason why we put Keezy on in terms of his experience for know-how for that situation. Like you say, the spirit. We know we're a number of players down at the moment, so the boys have gone, and I thought their application was fantastic in terms of their work ethic today again. So yeah, it's nice to come through that bit because we have conceded a couple late on recently, so to see that through should give the boys a lot more confidence moving forward.
Let's talk about the goals. Killian Phillips getting the goal that his performances have been warranting recently. Yeah,
I just said to Tomo this morning, it's about time, KP. You know, he's been due one just because his performance levels have been really high recently. He's been unfortunate on a couple of occasions and nearly got one with his left foot at the end that was blocked. So yeah, I think Killian's been top over these last 2 weeks. His energy and the amount he puts into the game, the quality he takes us forward in forward areas, the amount he enables us to press be on the front foot. So fair play to him because yeah, he's a real top lad. We're so pleased to have him. Really proud of how he conducts himself and how he carries himself. So yeah, chuff for him. And
a really well worked second goal as well. Although Wycombe Wanderers didn't get a play on the end of it, but it was a decent bit of midfield play from Potsy.
Yeah, you know, another top player we're really lucky to have. Potsy's been fantastic for us over these last 5 games and wins the ball back and delivers a great ball into the box. Obviously, it wasn't one of ours who put it in the net, but yeah, he's been extremely important for us, Potsy. So yeah, really pleased with his performance yet again.
Subbed at half time, was that a precautionary one?
Yeah, just took a knock in the first half, so you know, we just felt that it was responsible of us to make sure that we looked after him the best we possibly can. So we'll let that settle down and hopefully he'll be okay.
Second half, Bradford really came at Wycombe, and then when that goal came, you could feel the home fans getting up as well. Did you fear the worst at times?
You know, it's a cup atmosphere in terms of, you know, they get one back and the crowd are up and you know, they're playing some good stuff. Fair play in terms of the way they controlled the ball at times, and you know, it's a cup game and everyone could feel that maybe there was something in the air. But like I say, I'm really proud of how resolute the boys were and how they defended the goal. We want to be better in terms of our possession. When we broke away a couple of times, we nearly got the third, which would have been nice to kill the game off, but ultimately we saw it out 2-1 and we got to be pleased.
You must also be pleased as well. There's no midweek game now. It's a little bit like the walking mood at the moment. Must be good to get back to Marlow Road and assess what you've got.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, it goes to show how many numbers we're missing at the moment. The same lads have had to go, and I think, like you say, at the end there, it possibly showed in terms of their looked a little bit leggy in a tough game. So yeah, a couple more knocks today. We really need to you know, look after the players this week and make sure we train correctly, because we've got a really good game to look forward to next week, and we have to make sure the players are ready to go.
And before that, you can look forward to the draw tomorrow. Anyone on the top of the list in there?
No, I just think that it's exciting to be a part of. This club had an incredible run in the FA Cup just before I signed, and then we've had a couple along the way when we got to the third round with Aston Villa, and then obviously Spurs in the fourth round. I said to the players before the game, you've got to come through the first couple of rounds to create those memories further forward, and we have to make sure we're professional in the way we go about our business. So look forward to watching it tomorrow and see what the draw has in store for us.
The gaffer there talking to me at Valley Parade after the successful FA Cup first round, but that's enough of Matt Bloomfield. Let's find out what our studio guest this evening thinks. It's Luke. Yes! Luke, you must be delighted to get through that first round.
Yeah, it was. We always knew it was going to be a tough game. To be fair, it was. They made it very difficult. The conditions weren't the best, but no one will sort of remember that performance. It's just about getting through to the next round, and another good tie.
First listener questioning, and we can make this about the game Saturday as well, because I think it applies to any game. Any pre-match superstitions?
Yeah, there's one this season that we listen to YMCA before we go out, just to get the lads up for the game.
Is this your doing?
A little bit, yeah. Me, Scoey, a few of us I put it on and we just started dancing before a game and we won, so it was like, all right, let's just keep doing it.
Which one? Are you the traffic cop or the?
Oh no, we don't go that deep into it.
It
gets everyone up. To be fair,
if you were to assign the roles of the village people, who would you be? I think the traffic cop, definitely.
Yeah, I'll take the traffic cop.
So there's an authority. Last time you were here, you were called like a Napoleon, so.
Yeah.
The traffic cop is essentially that's the most normal thing.
Looking forward to the next one.
We talked about the draw there when I spoke to the gaffer. We didn't know. Home tie against Wycombe, as we called them on Ringing the Blues. Is that whet the appetite for the second round?
Yeah, well, it's a home tie. They're a good side. I know a few of their players, so that'll be a tough game. There is no easy game. I know it's a cliche sort of thing to say, but because they're a league below, but they're doing well, and I know a few of their players, and they're a young squad, so they'll have nothing to lose. They'll come here looking for an upset, and we just got to make sure that doesn't happen, and we put ourselves in to the third round, and then it opens up a whole lot of dreams.
One of the stories of the weekend was 8th tier Cray Valley Paper Mills, just 3 miles down the road from Charlton Athletic, drawing at the Valley 1-1. Now, before the game, everyone was saying to Michael Appleton, wow, 11 changes, that's brave, even though the gap in, I think it was 167 places maybe, yeah. I think, in the ladder. But what's it like playing with that many changes, even though the quality should be there?
Yeah, it's tough for the lads that are coming in, because they'll obviously need minutes and they're probably a bit rusty, and I think it obviously showed because, it is a very poor result for Charlton. But all credit to who is it?
Cray Valley
Paper Mill, yeah. So credit to them, and they'll be ready for the replay. They sort of probably went there with nothing to lose, and with Charlton making 11 changes, there was a lot of pressure on them 11 lads coming in, and I bet the Charlton manager's not best pleased.
He wasn't very happy after the game, but a replay for them, which is good news for Wycombe Wanderers and the other teams in League One. I think Derby County as well have got a replay. I think Port Vale have got a replay with Burton. These are all teams that's the extra game at this time of year when it's, that must take its toll.
Yeah, it's tough because I was looking at it before, if we had drew with Bradford, I don't know when that would have been played, because we play obviously Wimbledon on the 21st, and then is it Barnsley away on the 28th? I
think it would have been the 14th.
The 14th. Oh, okay, yeah. So, and the international break. Right, okay. But yeah, no, thankfully we're not doing that. Yeah, but it'll be tough for them teams, and like you say, another game on a heavy pitch at this time of the year will help us. We
can't get ahead of ourselves, but I think you've played against one of the big guns before, haven't you, in the FA Cup?
Yeah, Liverpool a few years ago, which was incredible being a Liverpool fan. But yeah, hopefully we get through this tie and we can get a big team and enjoy our day.
Well, I'm not going to jinx it by asking you for the dream tie, because there's work to be done.
Yeah.
Before then. Right, that's Luke's thoughts on the game. But we need to hear from the Bradford City fans, like we always do. Not always the Bradford City fans, of course, but the opposition fans. And the Regional Access Department has excelled himself this week. It's the Opposition View.
Bailiff Bridge Bantam.
I think my main gripe is we've only played for 45 minutes again. We did it at Sutton and MK, but against a better side, you'll definitely get punished. Being beaten by a side from a higher division is never a disgrace, but don't give them an advantage by only turning up for the second half.
Andy C.
I enjoyed that game. We were the better team throughout, but made poor errors for both goals during the only spell where they were on top. You couldn't tell which team was from the higher division, and that shows that with a bit of organisation and leadership, we can do well.
Dratsab Taff.
Wycombe went in 2 goals up without even breaking sweat. We looked okay passing it in midfield, but what did their defence or keeper have to do in the first 45 minutes? They strolled through too easily for me. They just knocked it about when they had it, finding space and easy overlaps. We fronted up more in the second half and made them look ordinary, but the game had gone by then.
CBC.
That referee were absolutely shocking. All that time wasting from Wycombe, and he only adds on 5 minutes.
Kevin, 1954.
That referee were as weak as hell. I timed one incident alone, a free kick with no injury and just 1 substitution, and Wycombe took 4 minutes before taking the kick. All they did in the game was punish 2 mistakes.
BC AFC Simon.
We tried really hard, and Wycombe did pretty much nothing. We just lacked quality in it and a sense of how to attack. They scored 1 lucky goal, and of course the second was an own goal. We really tried second half. Also, they were quite dirty, and there was a lot of cheating going on.
Oliver.
Well, I've just wasted 15 quid, and that was a rip-off anyway. This club is in an absolute mess. There's no direction for anyone. These players are either not good enough or just past the sell-by date. And the manager's position has been farcical from day one when Sparks took office. Making money or keep our owner sweet is obviously the priority. And who suffers? The fans. It will be interesting to see if Sparks can convince 17,000 fans to renew next season.
Jordan.
People say Joey Barton was there today. I'd have him. Recent success under his belt, and he wouldn't have a problem getting the players to toe the line.
2 legs.
I've realised tonight how old I am. Barton is a stretch too far for me. The thought of him being our manager fills me with dread. If he's our only route to promotion from the old 4th Division to the 3rd, then God help us. Surely there has to be a more normal human being.
Patriots 1986.
We've still got the EFL trophy to play for. Wembley, here we come. Today's result might be a blessing in disguise.
Online, on Radio Player, and on 106.6 FM. This is Wycombe Sound.
Still on the fence about college? Well, the possibilities are endless at Bucks College Group. At our open events, you can explore our inspiring campuses in Aylesbury, Wycombe and Amersham. Chat to our tutors, discover how to develop your future career, and check out the facilities. And with over 40 subjects, we're not just any college, we're your college. Chat, explore and discover. Search Bucks College Group now.
Thursday evenings from 7.
The Wycombe Wanderers show is now in its 4th season, and as you'd expect, we'll continue to bring you match analysis and highlights from Phil.
You might enjoy this, Jack. Rona Grimmersby, yes, come on you Blues. Love hearing Jack's commentary while his wife, father-in-law and his mum move house for him. Jack.
Getting absolutely thrown under the bus.
We'll regularly hear from manager Matt Bloomfield.
Of course, there's technical and tactical stuff that we've been working on that we would like to see, but in terms of what I want to see and have to see, it's all about the hard work, togetherness and team spirit, and everything else comes off the back of that.
As well as members of the current team.
You know, we had discussions about how we're going to do it better, and I think the only way you can do that is by keep practicing, keep learning, and hopefully then we'll get better and better with it.
And ex-players.
Everyone says as fast as I probably run, and they're probably right. Yeah, that's just a motion-fueled moment there, really. Just, it was great because my dad is one of those people that gave me a lot of stick about not scoring as well, so I just wanted to see him and rub it in.
We'll bring you news from in and around the club, continue to follow Wycombe Wanderers women, and some things you wouldn't expect.
Too much? Too much or not enough?
Tell the orchestra they can go now. And don't forget you can catch up with the show via the podcast.
The Wycombe Wanderers Show, only on Wycombe Sound. This is Wycombe Sound.
Yes, Luke. You've got your own soundbed. You've arrived, mate.
Yeah, I've made it, haven't I? I've made it.
Is this translating into the training ground? Are people aware of your Michael Jackson link?
No, not yet.
We need this to happen.
Hopefully it stays that way.
YMCA, Village people or Michael Jackson? That's the question.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. Lots to talk about in and around football at the moment. We talked to heard the Bradford fans at the end there before Graham Alexander was appointed as their manager. They were talking about how they didn't want Joe Barton as their manager, but there's a big shift in League One today. Liam Manning has left high-flying Oxford United and has joined Bristol City in the Championship. Now, as a player, have you been in groups of squads where the managers have left? I guess this is a good reason for leaving because he's been poached, but have you been in that situation?
Yeah, I think I've been in both, sacked and sort of gone to a higher league. So, yeah, I think he deserves it. I think he's you know, the way that Oxford play football and the way they are in the league, you know, he deserves that move, and you know, it'll just be interesting to see how they do without him and how quick it takes to bring someone else in.
They've made a really good start. He was obviously highly thought of by the players. What's that WhatsApp group like for Oxford United now? What's the sort of messages going to be flying around?
Yeah, it will just be. I'm sure they'll be looking at different names on the betting and whatnot just to see who's linked with the job, and there'll be a few players that are probably like, oh, don't want him, or there'll be players like, well, fancy him. So, you know, it's all. You know, I don't think they'll know until it's announced how they'll feel, but you know, it's an opportunity for them lads that haven't been playing in the team that's been doing well. So, and even like lads that have played every game under Liam Manning at Oxford, you know, they'll be a little bit wary of, you know, this manager might not fancy me or might not want to play me. So, you know, it is up in the air, I assume, for them Oxford players, but I think it's part and parcel of the game, so you've got to sort of deal with it.
And what about if you're a player that was signed by Liam Manning at Oxford and then you think, you know what, he's gone already?
Yeah, I think, especially with the way they've been doing as well, if you signed him in the summer, and then they're playing and then a new manager comes in, you know, it's up to them to impress the new manager, whoever it is, and kick on, I suppose.
And the challenge, I guess, for whoever does come in is they're going to want to do it in their own way. It's a successful team. The fans are going to be like, well, we want to get promoted. We've made a great start.
Yeah.
I suppose the pressure is always there, but the pressure now is like quite high up, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, considering where they are, and I think they're a few points clear of third. So, yeah, I don't know what Oxford's thinking is in terms of what route they're going to go down. Will it be the same route in terms of a young manager playing out from the back, or something different? You know, I don't think. Would Liam Manning have got it if they got beat to us, which they should have? Yeah, less said about the referee than the better.
Has he served his suspension yet?
I don't know, actually.
Well, it could be his first game, could be up in the stands.
Yeah, maybe.
Moving it on to the next level is Anis Vermette at Bristol City. Didn't really get much of a look in under Nigel Pearson. He must be licking his lips thinking, well, there's a new manager in town. This is my chance.
Yeah, definitely. I remember playing against Anis, and obviously, you know, his name still gets mentioned around here at times, you know, just of how good of a player he was. And I think the way that we've only played Oxford recently, which is the quick wingers and forward direct running will suit Anis. So I don't know him personally, but you know, hearing from what the lads say, he was a good player, and you know, hopefully he can make his mark at Bristol City.
Well, congratulations to Liam Manning. He started at MK Dons, a stadium with 4 sides with no fans. He went to Oxford United, a stadium with fans but with 3 sides, and now he's got the best of both worlds at Bristol City, a complete stadium with fans in it as well. And he's a highly thought of young coach, and may the wheels fall off at Oxford rapidly, and that'll be fantastic. What's been the talk at the training ground? Because obviously when you all turn up in the morning, you all have your topics of conversation. What's everyone been talking about today?
Apart from table tennis, it was we were on about the game last night. To be fair, Tottenham Chelsea.
What a game!
Yeah, it was incredible, wasn't it? Just I think so much happened inside them. I think 52 minutes, wasn't it, in the first half, and it was like it's just really happening in like a top Premier League game. And yeah, we were just talking about that and how all of us would probably be uncomfortable in Tottenham's high line defending.
It's kind of nuts. Tottenham lost 4-1 at home against a bitter rival, and after the game, the fans applauded them off the pitch. Everyone was praising the manager, who got booked himself. His response after the game I thought was really impressive, but no one had ever really seen this sort of high-line approach. What was your take on that in terms of how they did it? I suppose they had nothing to lose.
No, I couldn't believe what I was watching. Like, honestly, it was mental. And when you said they didn't have nothing to lose, but they did hold out. Like, they held out for, and I was like, they're going to do this here. Like,
because of that tactic, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose so. And I don't support either team, but a part of me was really wanting Tottenham to. When Eric Dyer got that disallowed goal, and I was sort of like got off my seat a little bit and was like, go on, lads, because it was like it was amazing. But I think Chelsea, you know, when they understood what to do, sort of thing, couldn't believe what Chelsea were doing at times. But obviously, they probably watch me and say, "What's he doing at times as well?" So, no, I just think once Chelsea like realised what to do and how to get in behind them, it was always going to happen. But yeah, it was some game to watch.
We don't have to worry about this in League One, but VAR, yes or no, in your opinion?
I suppose if used correctly, then yeah, it's just.
That's on the fence, Luke. Come on.
Yeah, I think so. I do think so. I think
it's a good thing.
It is much better than it is worse. But I think it's just like the timing of everything. I've always said if it takes longer than a minute to get a decision, then stick with the on-field decision, because it's just they're trying to find, like, they're forensically looking at things, aren't they, to try and find something that's up where it might not be.
Now, these chats at the training ground obviously give you the perfect opportunity to study the vocal tics, the habits of your teammates, and this is something you've turned into a bit of an art form, I understand, in terms of your impressions of your teammates. You've got a couple of you've definitely nailed.
I've got a few, yeah.
Can we start with Dale Taylor?
Ask me a question then.
Dale, what do you bring to the Wycombe Wanderers setup?
Mate, I bring everything. You know, you know, I'm DL Taylor at the end of the day, and I score goals, and you know, I'm rubbish at table tennis, but mate, honestly,
it's like he's in the room. It's fantastic. Any others?
Yeah, I've got Max. I think I've got Max.
Do you need another question to bring into that?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Max, apart from your dog, what do you love most about life?
Luke. Since he come to the football club, you know, I love him, and I play my best football when Luke's around. So I just love Luke. Yeah.
Now I'm cheating slightly here. This isn't the first time I've heard this, because when I first heard you do that, I thought you were doing an impression of Henning Vane. Henning Vane, of course, the famous Wycombe Wanderers fan, the German comedy ambassador. And because I know you study people so closely, we thought we'd play a game of this. That's right, we're going to play a game of, is this Henning or is this Max? Luke, choose a number, please, between 1 and 6.
3.
Number 3, okay.
1 2 1 2 promotion.
Now, is that Henning or is that Max?
That's Henning.
Excellent. Another number, please, not 3, you've had that one.
1.
Number 1. Henning or Max? It's quite sinister.
Henning.
Still good at this. Another number, please.
4.
The actor from Jason Bourne.
Is that me?
That'd be the ultimate curveball.
That would be brilliant.
If we've clipped you up, do it.
Max.
3 out of 3 so far.
6.
Is she dead? Is she dead?
Tough one, that.
Henning.
What have we got left? Number
2 and 5.
2 and 5.
I don't mind up for the fans.
Oh, what?
I don't mind up for the fans.
Max? What did he say?
No idea. And number 5.
Something engineering even.
It's Max, but
6 out of 6. When you told me you study, I mean, I didn't know you went into this level of detail.
yeah, just like looking at people, I suppose. I think, do you know what? When I signed, I did it straight away, and I was a little bit like, oh, I don't know how he's going to take that. Like Max, not Henning, Max, and yeah, he loved it, so I just sort of carried on. And then Dale's he's a little moany person, so I just do it just to wind him up.
Any others in the pipeline that we can hear? Or?
No, I think that's all. I'll try and study someone else and try and do it.
We have a question here from Gareth McCleary of Oxfordshire. Says, who's Steve Cottrell's real favourite?
It was Gareth McCleary until I signed for Shrewsbury, and then I think it's me now.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Gareth told me something different earlier when he told me this.
Yeah, but Gareth said he scored against Northampton, didn't he? So
do we have to bring up the EFL to decide the real answer to this?
No, he's probably already done it, GMAC, and probably Cottrell said him.
This is still running and running. When was that game against Northampton? It was sunny. It seems like a long time ago, but it's still...
Yeah, it was just before the first international break, so what's that, like mid-September maybe?
Is it still being referenced as much at the training ground?
Little bits, yeah. It is sometimes.
I feel that Richard Keogh definitely needs to score a goal.
Yeah, I think when Kesey scores, I think it'll be a relief for Kesey, and I think next time GMAX scores, I think we're all going to run to Kesey. Just so. But we've had a few goals that have been like that, like Portsmouth away.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was me, and then Kesey thought it was him, and then someone else thought it was him, and then Scully's come up to me, like running past everyone, was like, it was my goal. I think there's a picture of Scully holding my head, and I'm holding his head. He's like, it's me. And then, so yeah, there's a few.
We talked a bit earlier on about the changes in League One with Liam Manning leaving Oxford today. But last week it was announced that Matt Bloomfield and also Josh Scowen. Let's start with Bloom's contract extension. How did the boys react to that? Yeah,
Amazing, isn't it? I think the club in itself have seen how well that the gaffer's been doing, and yeah, I think it was only right to sort of give him a new contract and see that. I think it shows us lads, and especially the fans, that the club's going to have stability for the next few years, and then added on with Scoey signing a new long-term deal. It was it just shows where the club's going and sort of where it wants to be as well.
How good is Josh Scowen? I know the fans love him to pieces, but as a teammate,
yeah, amazing. Yeah, he just makes it look so easy. Probably not table tennis. I've slightly gone above him now at table tennis.
Really?
But, yeah.
Okay.
I was playing on his injury.
Is that how he got injured?
No. But yeah, no, Scully, he makes like he's captain, but he's captain in a completely different way to other people. Like he'll do his talking on the pitch, and in terms of like how he plays and his pressing and his passing is just Scully's brilliant, and he's been brilliant with me since I've come in as well. He's one of the first that I sort of gravitated to, and yeah, I'm sure we've got a few more years together.
You mentioned the captain's armband. It was on your arm on Saturday. That was a real honour, I guess.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. I think since I've come in, I've tried to be sort of my own leader in terms of, you don't have to wear the armband to be a leader, and I've sort of, I've felt that, and but yeah, it was nice to. The gaffer pulled me at breakfast Saturday morning and just said, "You're going to be captain today," and it was, a real privilege.
There's a bit of responsibility that goes with not just the usual sort of pre-match stuff, the deciding which end, etc. But with the rules the way or the laws the way they are now, you're entitled to speak to the referee, aren't you? So you must enjoy that.
Yeah, I don't think the refs do though. That's why every ref hated me, I think, during my Shrewsbury time, because captains are allowed to speak to them, and they probably see me captain as like, oh god, here we go. But no, I thought that the referee was quite good Saturday, so there wasn't much need for shouting at him.
Yeah, I think we were struggling, weren't we, to remember the ref from Saturday, which I think is a really good sign, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. We spoke just off air a minute ago about that, and it was, I couldn't really remember I couldn't picture him or remember if he'd done anything wrong. So yeah, that's probably a good sign that he done well.
Tomo's been in contact on the YouTube comments. We are live on YouTube as well this evening. You can watch along and see, not only hear Luke, you can actually look at him speak as well and do these, just to double check that it wasn't Dale Taylor in the studio. Tomo's been in contact. Says, Luke, can you help me out with my red shirt for the collection? As they're not going to be selling them, or we don't know if they will be or not. They certainly aren't selling them at the moment. I've got over 155 shirts and only 2 outfield shirts I don't own, one of which being the red third shirt. These are going to be highly sought after. Tomo's trying to get in early here. He wants your red shirt.
Yeah, I don't mind it. He's found a way to try and get it, and he's seen an opportunity and gone for it. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with the red shirts.
I'm not sure if they're going to be limited edition or if they ever will make it on sale. I'm not sure actually. We'll find out and let you know.
Yeah, I'll do my best. I'll do my best to get him one.
What's your favourite of the changed kits? Because I think all 3 kits look fantastic.
Yeah, I like the green one. The green and white one's my favourite one.
Yeah, I think that's because of the link to Carlisle away back in a long time ago, the first ever league game. Local aviation guy says, please say hello to Luke Leahy. Hello.
Hello, local aviation guy.
Red shirts for everybody, says Alex. I think, Hummel, come on, guys. Everyone loves it, the red shirt.
That's... And the green kit, are they out as well?
Yeah, the green kit.
Like I say, they're my favourite one. That's my favourite one.
If you are watching on YouTube as well, I'm wearing, here's the camera, a new training top featuring Mr. Wycombe on, which is available in the club shop as well. And we've also got Christmas mugs, which Luke and myself are holding up. They are also in the club shop, so get yourself a nice Christmas present. Jack Grimmett on commentary has been a big fan of yours, and we do enjoy your little waves up to us after you've scored or assisted.
Yes.
Very touching. But I guess the downside is you don't get to hear Jack's commentary.
No, for my family, my wife or my dad will listen to it if they're not at the game, and they always say after the game, like, just, have you paid Jack Grimmer to just speak highly of you, because all he does is speak very well of you. But yeah, I just made it a thing. I don't know what I said to him one day before the game. I was like, I'm going to score today, and I'll wave up at you. And then I think it was Carlisle, and then I scored, and obviously I did it. And then the next game was Bolton, and scored again, and remember waving up. And so I tried to get him up to Bradford, but he didn't bother coming.
Oh, he's busy, I think. We were going to play the commentary from your goal against Bolton, but so soon after fireworks weekend, we've been told that the dog community is already so upset by the last few days that hearing Jack's commentary again would just be too much for them.
I did listen to it back.
Yeah, Jack will be with us on Saturday for commentary against Stevenage.
So that's me getting a goal then.
It's just the pattern. It is, I guess.
No, it is, yeah. That's why I tried to get him. I said I'd even pay for his train up to Bradford, but he didn't bother.
Abby says, what do you think the score will be this weekend against Stevenage?
Sorry, what was that?
What's the score going to be? Well, you've already said you're going to score, so Wycombe have got one at least already.
Yeah, I'll go 1-0 then. I think it's going to be a tough game. I think they're doing really well, and Steve Evans' side, we know what we're going to come up against, and it's just about us being the best version of us, and then hopefully the game take care of itself if that happens. So Wycombe 3 points at 5:30 is the main thing.
Absolutely right. That's Luke Leahy in the studio with us this evening. We've got some adverts coming up, and after the break we've got Dr. Bob on Till Death Us Do Part. Do you love Dr. Bob? Who doesn't love Dr. Bob?
No, yeah, love Dr. Bob.
We could have given him a full 3 hours to do this, by the way, as always. This has been heavily edited. But more from Luke after these.
Online, on Radio Player, and on 106.6 FM. This is Wycombe Sound.
We could use this time to tell you that 89% of the UK population tunes into the radio every week, and every £1 spent on radio advertising delivers twice the audience of any other medium.
Or we could fill this spot with your advert. Wycombe Sound has a range of bespoke packages tailored to suit your budget and options to either create or send us your advert. Plus a 10-minute interview to plug your company.
For more information, go to wycombesound.org.uk or give us a call on 01494 44 9900.
Advertising with Wycombe Sound has never been easier.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs at the Aylesbury Waterside Theatre from Friday the 1st of December to Wednesday the 3rd of January. Starring James Bye from EastEnders, alongside the hilarious Andy Collins and directed by award-winning Chris Nelson. This magical fairy tale promises hilarious antics and lots of audience participation for the whole family. Hi-ho, it's off to Panto you go. Book your tickets at atgtickets.com/Aylesbury.
Previously on the Rob Lesperance Radio Show.
Geek of the Week question. Today is National Singles Day. Based on data from the year 2020, how many people in the UK, adults, are single?
Yeah, I think it's quite a lot. A, because it's locked down, and I don't think more people aren't getting married.
Welcome to the Census Helpline.
No, I did a lot with the census. We had a lot of interviews on Wycombe Sound. We're a censor ambassador, as it says on the wall.
Censor ambassador.
I will go and get you the form.
No, I'm
going to go and get it.
No, he's gone off to get the census. What is it? Oh, you were a census. Has it got your name on it, though?
No, Wycombe Sound.
Colin Besley, it says.
No,
there.
it does not say Colin Besley. I put 30 million.
The amount of people that are single, 28.3 million.
Smashed it, thank you.
The Rob Lesperance Radio Show.
That's why I am a census champion.
Saturdays from 12 on Wycombe Sound.
This is Wycombe Sound.
It's Till Death Us Do Part, where we speak to Wycombe fans and Wycombe Wanderers figures about their football club. It's like a marriage, the club is for life, and we've got Dr. Bob with us. We're on the coach, which is why it's nice and hushed and everyone's happy. We're on the way back from Bradford. Bob, how are you?
Very well, thank you, Phil. How are you?
I'm very good. Right, tell us, you've been on the podcast before, you're the shin pad man, and you are Dr. Bob. Tell us your role at the club.
So I'm the club doctor, and erstwhile chatterbox, keep everybody entertained with weird and wonderful facts, dispenser of paracetamol and various other medication when people need it. That's my role.
Perfect. Right, let's get into this. Something old, your best or favourite ever Wycombe Wanderers memory. There must be loads, Bob.
Well, I don't know. As I'm getting older, I feel that everything's sort of merging into one, really. So just one confluent experience. But I'd say if there was one sort of really cherished memory, it'd have to be the win in the playoff final, really.
And you were there?
I was, yeah. It was a very somewhat anxiety-provoking day for certainly for the medical team. But yeah, I mean, it was all in the midst of COVID. There was a huge amount of workload for Kian and Ali and I because of having to abide by all the COVID regulations. So trying to keep all the players fit, there and back. I mean, because everything was still in lockdown at the time, and it was just a great sense of relief and elation at the end.
For the staff and the players, was it the same as the press? Because we had a medical tent, we had to pass a medical to get into the stadium, which I nearly failed because I dragged my kit all the way up the ramp and had a high heart rate, and they were saying it was too high. So I had to go and calm down for 20 minutes before coming back and then passing just.
So we had the advantage of being able to do the checks ourselves, so there's a high degree of trust on the medical team doing their jobs properly prior to arrival.
So a weird time, but being in the stadium, I think there was 92 people, in the stadium that night, in a stadium of 92,000 capacity. That in itself was quite odd, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite eerie. I remember it being a very still night. It was very, very hot, and I still remember we were all making loads and loads of noise, and I think everybody remembers the sound of Bill Turnbull and some of the directors up in the gallery. And it was an extremely sort of special event, and the celebrations went long into the night and into the early hours of the morning, and were enjoyed by all, including
you,
including me. But my best memory is of Pete Kuhig, and at some point I think he was lying down flat for about an hour back at the Adams Park. I remember thinking to myself, I hope he's all right. And periodically he'd sort of get up, look around, and then lie back down again. But it was just like a magical sort of event, really.
I bet your stash of paracetamol took a bit of a whack after that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think the after effects might have been felt 24 hours later, so I was long gone by that time.
Perfect. Right, something new. Now, this is going to be tough for you because obviously you work within the team. Favourite member of the current Wycombe Wanderers squad?
I'd have to say my colleague Cian O'Doherty. So Cian and I have been working together now for about since 2017, and so we've got to know each other really well. We were obviously in League 2 at the time, and I've enjoyed all the sort of highs and lows over the last few years. But as a medical team, we're very, very tight. We have to work very closely with each other, have a huge amount of trust in each other. It's a very complementary and successful relationship.
And you guys put the hours in as well, because there's been a couple of times where unfortunately we've had players who've had to go to hospital and stuff like that, and that means you have to really put the hours in there and get back at all sorts of talent at different times.
Yeah, so thankfully that's rare, but I think on 2 occasions where I think TJ was injured when we played Plymouth away, and then our former gaffer Gareth Ainsworth and Cian stayed with him and brought him back, drove him back in the early hours of the morning, and then more recently, unfortunately, Dale got injured when we were playing away at Bristol Rovers, and but that's sort of part and parcel of our job. Really, is to ensure that we take our role in looking after our players very, very seriously, and I think it's very easy to just leave them to the excellent sort of local hospitals, but actually it's nice to be in a position to be able to provide them the support they need at sometimes what's quite an anxiety-provoking time.
Right, on to something borrowed. So this could be either the best ever loanee to play for Wycombe Wanderers or a player that you'd wish the club had signed, no matter how controversial or outlandish.
I mean, I can't think of any player maybe that we should have signed, but I have to say best loanee has to go down as Ebbs, really. So Ebbs, I think, was here in my first season, and he was young, like really young then. I just remember seeing this young lad who could be surrounded by 4 players and then somehow just do a bit of like a roulette or a flick, and then he'd be past them. And it was just such a special experience seeing him. Just really lament that he was with us for, too short a period of time, really.
So you'd have been at the game at the Abbey, Cambridge United, where he got that wonderful brace, both in the same part of the pitch, right foot, left foot, both in the top corner. So you get to see the boys after the game on the bus. What was Ebbs like? He must have floated onto the bus that day.
Well, actually no, because then I wasn't travelling away with the team at the time. So actually I only got to see the highlights of that. But I'm pretty sure it must have been an extremely raucous time on the coach on the way back. But it was just. And I think it's interesting, when people see players that go on to play at like a Premier League level, they have a conception that, in somewhere that they're quite aloof. But actually, Ebbs was like a really down-to-earth, quiet guy. He just kept himself to himself and extremely professional. And it's just really great to see him succeed, and for us to have been a very small part of the story that has become an extremely promising and proven promising career.
You like Wycombe fans where you feel a sense of pride when you see him now doing his things on Match Today and getting in the England team, etc.?
Pride and a bit of sort of lamentation as well at what could have been, There
we are. Right, on to something blue. And this could be your favourite piece of Wycombe Wanderers merchandise ever, or your best idea for what the club should be selling in the shop. And I can see your eyes lighting up at this question, Bob.
Well, I think, as you know, my Smart Armour and Smart Armour shin pads are very, very close to my heart. Something which, the idea of which was conceived while I was in post here at Wycombe Wanderers, and, our players were the first professional players to ever try them as well. And, I think it'll be a great product to feature. I'm sure we can get a Wycombe Wanderers logo on the back of them as well.
Product placement on Ringing the Blues. This is what it's all about, Bob.
The check's in the post, Phil.
If they're close to your heart, mate, I don't think you're wearing them correctly.
Yeah, exactly.
Dr. Bob, always a lovely chat with Dr. Bob. He knows everything about absolutely everything that you don't know about, which is what makes his Long coach journeys with Dr. Bob, absolutely fly by. Smart Armour shin pads, Luke, are you a fan? Have you got a pair?
I haven't, no, but I know a few of the new lads that are going to get some. So yeah, they are good, to be fair.
They are good, and I'm not sure if they are available in the club shop, but kits are, so you can buy kits, because that hasn't always been the case this season, I'm afraid. Right, we've got a lot of love for you on the comment section on the YouTube. Luke Leahy, the best midfielder, says Ground Panzers. Do you disagree with this, Luke, controversially?
Yeah, it should say defender, wing back, midfielder.
Which leads us perfectly to the obvious question: what's your favourite position? Because I mean, Max hasn't been sent off yet, but if he was to be, then you could. Well, you could do an impression of him, but would you go in goal?
Yeah, I've done it before. I've done it when I was up in Scotland, to be fair.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't happily do it, because it means that Max is sent off and we're probably in a bit of trouble. But
you'd be perfect, because the centre backs could be reassured by hearing
that.
Exactly. They'd hear that and they think everything's fine.
Yeah, and then they see me with the shirt baggy and the gloves that are just folding over.
There's another keeper again. That was good.
Keepers.
He's uncanny, isn't it? It's fantastic. Henning Vane, I reckon, is an excellent goalkeeper as well, if we were ever in that position. Right, we've got a busy weekend coming up. There's League One games taking place this evening as well, so keep an eye on those. But Wycombe Wanderers at home to Stevenage on Saturday. Hopefully a massive crowd. Stevenage not far, so hopefully they'll bring a few. But Wycombe fans, it's been ages since we've had a home game at Adams Park on a Saturday afternoon. Do the players miss that? Because obviously Saturday 3:00, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think I can't remember when the last game would have been.
Carlisle.
Wow. So yeah, what's that? 4 weeks ago, probably. And then I think we've got quite a good run of home games, haven't we, in the next couple of weeks? But yeah, I think being at home, especially the way we play and we like to play, it suits us. And yeah, hopefully we can excite the fans on Saturday and sort of climb back up that table to in a position where we think we should be.
Michael Chevelaine, greetings from Denver. Luke, regarding Blooms, how would you describe him as a manager, especially with regards to his strengths?
I think just the way he speaks to you. I think he treats you like a person more than a player, and I think nowadays that means quite a lot. He's honest with you as well. I think he's honest with you, but in a way that, you appreciate it. So yeah, I think he's been brilliant for me. Like I know we were joking there about a few positions, but he's helped me sort of, because I've played the positions a little bit, but not the majority that I've played already this season. So him and Tomo have helped me quite a lot, and yeah, I think them two work well together.
There's an enormous amount of analysis that goes on, isn't there? Like pre-match and then post-match as well. I guess with moving positions is a lot of that, work out on the training ground, but also in front of a screen at times as well.
Yeah, definitely. Weirdly enough, I was speaking to the analysis guy today about that, and just if I am playing a different position, then we'll sit down and go through things like a different player or whoever. It's more to do because every game's filmed, and it's good to see that what you might be up against if I'm wing back, midfield, centre half, wherever.
It's the beginning of a new month, which means that the nominations for League One Player of the Month go out, I think, tomorrow morning at 6 a.m, so everyone set your alarm clock. Do you reckon there's any left-footed penalty specialists featuring anywhere in League One?
There should be one. I'm not sure who it is, but hopefully there's one.
Well, fingers crossed. We'll all be waking up tomorrow at 6 o'clock to find out. We have some celebration chat here as well. Sue said, Luke, when you score again, can we see some YMCA moves?
Oh my God! Right, Sam Vokes did it earlier on in the season.
Really?
Anyone? Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember who it was against, but he always does that when he scores, or his arm, and then.
Okay. He does the Y.
Keezy's come, grabbed his arm and done the Y. And, yeah, if we're comfortable in a game and it's like if I score, I don't know, the third goal in a 3-0, I'll get it out, because I don't want to start doing it and then then it doesn't go to plan.
Who was that player that had the masks down their shin pads in their sock and put the mask on when it was at Fulham? a while ago. I mean, there could be like like a handlebar moustache or like a hat.
No, was it Wolves? Was it Jimenez? Raul Jimenez? Was it Wolves?
No, there was a guy at Fulham, I think, who had a special celebration. There could be some sort of YMCA paraphernalia down your sock. But I'm not sure if the referee would allow that.
No, I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll work on that. Luke, the golf celebration, Jack Grimmer told the story in the comms box. This stems back to a meeting with a well-known golf celebrity in Marlow, is that right?
Yeah, we were just going out for some food. A few of us stay up, a few nights before a game and just out for some food, and obviously seen him because he'd been in the Ryder Cup the weekend before, so he was.
Who is this?
Tyrrell Hatton.
Tyrrell Hatton.
Yeah, I think he is a Marlow boy. Or
yeah, he's a local. Yeah.
Yeah. Just got chatting. Obviously, said what. I think one of his friends was a Wycombe fan, so he recognised us, and then we just got chatting, and then sort of weirdly ended up, setting a game of golf up with him, and then I've just spoke to him there. I think he's back here this weekend. So
actually dropped that. I
think he's.
Obviously he's listening.
I think he's. He comes back from America, and I think he'll be at the game Saturday.
Fantastic.
So perfect opportunity.
So when you say you set up a game, is this sort of like a 2-ball, a 4-ball with Tyrrell Hatton, or?
No, I think it was me, Vokesy, and Keezy with Tyrrell. But the date that we sort of scheduled for, he messaged me a few days later going, I've got my dates mixed up. I'm flying to America, and then so it didn't happen. So we need to get a new date.
I'm at the airport.
You're not yet. So hopefully we can get a new date and obviously get a golf game with Ryder Cup winner.
And do you fancy your chances?
Nah, I'm just there for fun. I'll tell you what, one thing, I'll be more nervous on the first tee in front of Tyrrell than I was taking them 2 penalties at Oxford.
Yeah, you can't really take a drive.
I knew that was going to say.
You set them up on the phone, fantastic. Well, that's good. That sounds to me like a Wanderers TV special just waiting to be made.
Yeah, I'm sure we could sort something out.
There's some nice tracks around here, some good courses.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure where he said, but
I reckon he knows what he's doing.
I think he knows what he's doing. Yeah, I think so. There'll be a lot of bleeping, I think, if Wanderers TV come down here.
That's fine. We have that editing facility. There's no way we're not going to be there for that. I want to see this definitely. Who's the best golfer in the squad? I mean,
do you know what? I don't know. Okay. We haven't had a golf day or golf trip yet. It's been quite hectic, hasn't it? Like the last month or two with games and international breaks. So I'm sure we'll try and get one.
Let's finish off this show by doing Max Strick and Dale Taylor both shouting FORE.
FORE! Dale Taylor. FORE? I've not got Dale Taylor.
Okay. But yeah, Max FORE. That's the way to end it. Luke, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. This hour has absolutely flown by.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for your comments and tuning in on the YouTube as well. This is going out as a podcast. If you just tuned in and thought this sounded incredible, it's going up as a podcast in about half an hour on all your podcast platforms. We're back on Saturday from the Bill Turnbull Gantry with Jack Grimmer. Luke, we'll see you there.
Yeah.
And come on, you Blues.